Hey, Christy Birchville here. Today we're talking about Genesis chapter 49. We've been talking about new beginnings, and this chapter we're coming kind of to the close. Jacob gathers all his sons and all his family around him, and he basically kind of lists through and talks about his legacy. He kind of final thoughts, final word on each one of his sons. And he starts going through, and I find it really, really interesting. As he's going through, he starts and he talks with his firstborn, and he's really frustrated and angry with his firstborn, and then his secondborn, and then his thirdborn. And then it gets down to Judah, and it talks about kind of the legacy of Judah. The scepter will not depart from Judah, the ruler's staff, until it comes to whom it belongs. It shall come, in the obedience of the nation shall be his. That's in verse 10. And I found it really interesting when you think back. We talked about, Leah was the one to have children first, right? She had the first four boys, and she was upset and thought this might, with her first one, she thought this might be the son that now Jacob will love me. And then second son, now maybe Jacob will love me. Third son, now maybe Jacob will love me. But it wasn't until the fourth son when she finally was like, I'm just going to praise God. Now we here come to the end, and we have Jacob being frustrated with his first son, with his second son, with his third son. And that fourth son that Leah's like, I'm just going to praise God. That's the son that Jacob gives a tremendous legacy to. That's actually Judah, the son that ultimately ends up being the lineage of Jesus Christ himself. So as we look through that, I find it really interesting that those kind of go through. And what is our legacy? What are people going to say about us? What kind of impression are we leaving on others? It's important to think about the endings at the same time as we think about the beginnings, because no matter what we start and what we do, we want to end well. We want to end in a way that pleases and glorifies God. Judah was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. He had so many issues and things that he didn't do well. And as you work through that, what you come to understand is that, yes, he wasn't perfect, but ultimately he came to a place where he understood that he needed to be serving God. He was the one that said, hey, let me take Benjamin. I'll take care of him. We'll do this. He became the one that his father did look to and lean on. What is our legacy? What are the things that we're leaving behind, and how people think about us? When we're thinking about our new beginnings and the things that we're going to start, how are we ending? What's the end game that we see in mind? What's the vision of what we want people to see? That needs to be how we start. So keep that in mind with whatever you're beginning today. What's your legacy?